Apples are one of the most popular fruits grown in home gardens. They are relatively easy to grow, provided you choose the right variety and provide the necessary care. Apple trees are deciduous, meaning they lose their leaves in the fall and go dormant in the winter. They require a period of cold weather to produce fruit, making them suitable for temperate climates. Growing apple trees at home can be a long-term investment, as they can live and produce fruit for many years. With proper care, you can enjoy a bountiful harvest of apples for eating fresh, making cider, or baking into pies and other delicious treats. Choosing the right apple variety. The first step in growing apple trees is selecting the right variety. There are thousands of apple varieties, each with its own unique flavor, texture, and growing requirements. Here are some factors to consider when choosing an apple variety. Climate. Apples require a certain number of chill hours, hours below 45 degrees, to produce fruit. Choose a variety that is well suited to your climate. Purpose. Consider how you plan to use the apples. Some varieties are best for eating fresh, while others are better for cooking or making cider. Pollination. Most apple trees require cross-pollination with another apple variety to produce fruit. Make sure to choose at least 2 varieties that bloom at the same time. Disease resistance. Some apple varieties are more resistant to common diseases like apple scab and fire blight. Choosing a disease-resistant variety can reduce the need for chemical treatment. Some popular apple varieties include Eating Fresh, Honey Crisp, Fuji Gala Red Delicious, Cooking, Granny Smith, Brayburn, Jonathan, Cider, Golden Russet, Ashmead's Kernel, Dabinett. 3. Selecting the perfect location. Apple trees need plenty of sunlight to grow and produce fruit, so it's important to choose a location that receives at least 6-8 hours of direct sunlight per day. Apple trees prefer well-drained soil with a pH between 6.0 and 7.0. If your soil is heavy clay or sandy, you may need to amend it with organic matter to improve its structure and fertility. It's also important to consider the space requirements for apple trees. Standard-sized apple trees can grow up to 30 feet tall and wide, while dwarf and semi-dwarf varieties are smaller and more suitable for home gardens. Make sure you have enough space to accommodate the tree's mature size, as well as room for multiple trees if needed for pollination. 4. Preparing the soil. Before planting your apple tree, it's important to prepare the soil to ensure it has the best possible start. Here are the steps to prepare your soil. Test the soil. Start by testing the soil pH and nutrient levels. You can purchase a soil test kit from a garden center or send a sample to a local extension service. This will help you determine if any amendments are needed.
Amend the soil. Based on the results of your soil test, you may need to add lime to raise the pH or sulfur to lower it. You can also add organic matter, such as compost or well-rotted manure, to improve soil structure and fertility. Till the soil. Use a tiller or garden fork to loosen the soil to a depth of at least 18 to 24 inches. This will help the roots penetrate the soil more easily and improve drainage. Create a planting hole. Dig a hole that is twice as wide and deep as the root ball of the apple tree. This will give the roots plenty of room to spread out. 5. Planting your apple tree. Once the soil is prepared, you're ready to plant your apple tree. Here's how to do it. Choose the right time. The best time to plant apple trees is in the early spring, after the last frost date in your area. This gives the tree plenty of time to establish itself before the growing season. Soak the roots. If you're planting a bareroot apple tree, soak the roots in water for a few hours before planting. This will help rehydrate the roots and reduce transplant shock. Plant the tree. Place the apple tree in the hole, making sure the roots are spread out evenly. The graft union, the point where the tree was grafted onto the rootstock, should be about 2 to 3 inches above the soil line. Backfill the hole. Fill the hole with soil, gently tamping it down to remove any air pockets. Water the tree thoroughly to help settle the soil. Mulch around the base. Apply a layer of mulch around the base of the tree to help retain moisture and suppress weeds. Keep the mulch a few inches away from the trunk to prevent rot. Stake the tree, if necessary. If you're planting a young or dwarf apple tree, you may need to stake it to provide support until the roots are established. 6. Watering and fertilizing. Proper watering and fertilizing are essential for growing healthy, productive apple trees. Here's what you need to know. Watering apple trees. Apple trees need regular watering, especially during the first few years after planting. Here are some tips for watering your apple tree. Water deeply. Water the tree deeply once a week, providing enough water to soak the soil to a depth of 12 to 18 inches. This will encourage deep root growth and help the tree withstand dry periods. Avoid overwatering. Apple trees don't like to sit in waterlogged soil, so make sure the soil has good drainage. Overwatering can lead to root rot and other diseases. Mulch to retain moisture. Apply a layer of mulch around the base of the tree to help retain moisture and reduce the need for frequent watering. Fertilizing apple trees. Apple trees benefit from regular fertilization to promote healthy growth and fruit production. Here's how to fertilize your apple tree. Test the soil. Before fertilizing, test the soil to determine its nutrient levels. This will help you choose the right fertilizer and avoid over-fertilizing.